We've managed to locate this one. That was definitely a surprise. And there's a couple of impala off to the side. I'm not sure if they're aware of her yet. They're probably about 100 meters away, so still quite far away. She doesn't seem to be too aware of them, and they aren't aware of her. And it's interesting because these leopards, wherever they are, sort of somewhere just to the north of this lioness, are kind of very, very close to where this lion sighting is. Or at least they have been moving around in that area. Very interesting. I'm not sure which particular lioness this is. I'm sure she's one of the Styx Pride members. I'm not sure why she's moved off on her own. So a couple of weeks ago, we had the death of, sorry, not a couple of weeks ago, a couple of days ago, we had the death of that Nkahuma female at the hands of the Birmingham boys. And Donna was wondering what kind of effect this will have on pride dynamics. So will it mean that they have to switch hunting techniques, hunting positions? How will it affect them? Will it weaken them in any way? In terms of their pride dynamics, it depends on the female who was killed. If it was one of the younger females, it won't have that much of an impact, except for just reducing the numbers ever so slightly. But if it was one of the older females, then yes, especially if she's one of the sort of, definitely one of the older, higher ranking females who will be one that initiates and leads the hunts, then probably one of her siblings, so one of her sisters, will take her place. So it will shuffle around slightly, but lions, generally there will be one or two of the older females who will initiate the hunt and sort of control the way that it plays out. But that being said, they can switch around in their various hunting roles. So that's not to say that they have set, defined positions that they're going to adopt. Usually the younger ones will hang back a little bit, especially the sort of sub-adult size cubs. But as we've seen with Junior now, pushing to take a much more active role in the hunting of the animals. And what I did notice is that females sort of around the age of 3 years old, sort of 2.5, 3, reaching sexual maturity and actually really start to push to practice hunting almost all the time, even in the hottest time of day, in the middle of the day. They're very, very opportunistic. So yes, there will be some shifting around of dynamics, but it won't necessarily disadvantage the Nkahuma pride too much. One lioness down is always one extra hunter down, but they still have 7, well, we won't count the 2 sub-adult cubs, so they've got 5 very active hunting members. Sorry guys, I'm just listening to the Game Drive channel. So recently we had one of the Styx females mating with the Matimbas, but we had a very interesting question about whether or not, if one of the females was in estrus and the Matimba males were not around, would she mate with a Birmingham boy if she had the opportunity. So Tony from Holland, welcome to the Sunset Safari. And yes, I believe that she would. It's actually very common for lionesses who are in estrus, if the dominant pride member or the dominant coalition members are not around, to mate with another set of males or a marauding nomadic male. And that just increases this likelihood that their cubs are going to survive. Now guys, it is great to get to spend time with this lioness, but I finally got an update on exactly where those leopards are, which is actually back the way that we came. We must have ducked around them somehow. We've just got slightly far ahead of them. So I'm going to start heading back in that direction. I'm just going to let them know that I'm going to make my way there, and we're going to head across there. And that's also because I think that the other lions are making their way towards this female, and there are already 3 cars in that sighting. So we don't want to get in their way. We are restricted to a 3-vehicle maximum. So let's head across to those leopard and see if we can get them before we get to the end of this sunset safari, since we have spent most of the afternoon focused on trying to find them. Sorry, girl. We're going to head away. Just retreat back on ourselves. Know that we are pushed for time, and these leopards have been evading us all afternoon. I'm going to try and get there in time. Guys, I am going definitely as fast as I want to go on these roads, just because there was a lion sighting just off to the right of us. So I don't want to bump into those lions if they anyway, decided to move through. We are getting much closer though. Sighting. Okay guys, we are making our way in. She might still be in the bush. He was apparently responding to another male. Vocalizing as well. So let's see if we can try and get a good visual of him. Looks like it is just Tingana at the moment. Definitely a male that is interested in defending a female. It's just scrape marking here. I'm going to just get ahead of him. There he goes. We found him at last. I'm not sure where Quatile has gone. She might still be in the bush. He was apparently responding to another male's call, so it could have been the Anderson male. Going to either stop and call or possibly urinate, spray, and mark his territory. We'll just see and possibly scrape his feet. So he's currently defending a female that's in estrus, and he's obviously been attracted by the call of another male. He's just making sure that all the other leopards in the area know who's boss. Let's try and stay with him. Try and stay ahead as he moves through. It is getting to be quite a thick block, but at least we did manage to see him eventually. Again, he's just stopping to... How cool was that? Could feel it right through my chest. Really, really cool to hear him calling right next to the car like that. Just gonna duck my head down. That was really awesome. Perfectly timed. And I'm just going to let the other vehicle go ahead of me. We're just going to take it in turns to cut in front of him as he continues through this block. Ahead. Sorry guys, just making sure everybody gets a chance at the sighting. Cheers. He's just gone up that way.
Thanks.
Hopefully we get him when he calls again. Sorry, Brian, you good? And that noise that he was just making, that call, that's the very rough sawing sound that both male and female leopards do make, but it's much, much deeper and much more powerful when it's done by the males. So I'd love to just be able to scoot around him one last time. I am so glad that we did manage to at least catch up with Tingana. Kwetile, who he's mating with, is not too far from here. She's probably about 1 kilometer away, or at least that's where she was last reported to be. So she is around still. I'm just going to try and make sure we get one last glimpse of him. So what an exciting sunset safari this has been. It took us a while to get to these leopards, and unfortunately we've only got Tingana at the moment, but still totally worth it just to be able to hear him call like that right next to the car. Really, really interesting, and I'm hoping he's going to do it again. He is defending his female who he's mating with, and I wouldn't be surprised if the threat or the other call that he was responding to was the Anderson male, who is apparently much, much bigger than he is, or at least seems to be, although he is absolutely enormous. Here he goes. Just get to the road. Here we go. Just stop here for... Oh, and he's going to lie down for the last few minutes of the sunset safari. That was very, very considerate of him. Just dip that down so it's not straight in his face. But what an awesome, awesome sunset safari. And as always, big, big thank you to Brian for not only staying on the back but also dodging the trees that we were throwing at him for the last moment, and now for this wonderful shot of Tingana. And since we are going to spend these last few moments with Tingana, I'd also like to say a big thank you from Steph's side, and a big thank you to Andrew for his wonderful camera work and that awesome encounter with the Ellies. All in all, it has been a fantastic sunset safari, and we will be following up on these two and find out what happened tomorrow on the sunrise safari. So please do join us for that update. But for now, thank you very, very much for joining us. I'm glad we got to end the sunset safari with Tingana. We will see you tomorrow. Thank you all, and have a wonderful day or evening wherever you are in the world.